Very good evening to everyone, and sorry for the slight delay. Friends, as you are aware, that today the government of Meghalaya has announced that there will be a 3-day complete lockdown. Uh, it'll be like a curfew, and everything will be closed. Decision was made in the morning today, and based on that decision, in East Khasi Hills, the notification had already come out. And based on that, lots of parts of Shillong were obviously under that lockdown and curfew. Things, of course, changed when the Honorable Prime Minister of the country has come out with the complete lockdown and curfew in the entire country for the next 21 days. So, based on that, we will be coming out with our notification in regards to that particular announcement that was made by the Honorable Prime Minister. Friends, I want to once again reiterate the seriousness of the overall situation. And of course, we have seen what's happening in many other parts of the world and many other countries, what they're facing. And the country and our state also reacts right now. And accordingly, the Honorable Prime Minister has gone for a 21-day lockdown. Friends, I know it's not easy, and it's going to be very, very tough in order for us to be able to ensure that we follow that. But I urge everybody that in spite of all the challenges and the difficulties that you may face, this is being done in the interest of every single citizen of our country. This is being done in your interest. This is being done in the interest of your family members and the nation as a whole. So I urge all the citizens of Meghalaya to comply and to follow as per the decision that has been made by the Honorable Prime Minister, who has made this decision keeping in mind the interest, the well-being, the health of every citizen of our country and of every state in the country. Friends, I also would like to inform you that as a government, we have been very, very proactive in Meghalaya state to ensure that we take all different kinds of measures that are required. We have been requesting all people who have been coming from outside to register. It's a very simple registration process, which you can do online with Meghalaya online.gov.in/COVID, or you could simply call at 108. I'm very, very thankful to all the 3,300 people who have called us. They have been registered, and almost all of them have been contacted. And we are giving them basic advice on how to follow self-isolation so that they can protect themselves and their loved ones by simply not going out and following the protocols that have been given by the department and the medical volunteers who are following these 3,300 people who have registered with us. We expect more to register, and I encourage everybody to register in it because, as I said, it's being done for your own good. Staying home and ensuring that we don't come in contact with people is the best way as of now to ensure that we prevent the spread of this particular virus. And as I mentioned, it is really the transmission chain that needs to be broken, and the decision of the Honorable Prime Minister is in line with the decision to actually stop or break the transmission chain that is required. Friends, as we speak, there is a video conferencing that is going on between the Cabinet Secretary of Government of India, all the senior officials, and all the chief secretaries and officials of all the state governments. The government is working out on all the aspects of logistics, of essential commodities, and different kind of food commodities that will be required during these 21 days of lockdown, which will be a big challenge for all of us, especially people who come from economically weaker background. So therefore, as a government, state government and a center government, we will ensure that all steps are taken to make sure that different kind of essential commodities that are required are made available to the poorest section of our society and to general public as a whole. Friends, once again, as I said, the only way to ensure that this particular virus does not spread all over the state and the country is to be responsible as individuals. I urge all the individuals of our state to ensure that they act responsibly. And if you have been traveling in the past few days, for your sake and for the sake of your family members and for the society as a whole, please inform us about it through registering, and we will be able to guide you on what needs to be done. I also want to inform all our citizens that as a government, we have also taken steps to take care of a number of our registered, laborers who are there with us. Government has announced relief package for them. At the same time, the different programs of the government, for example, the master roles who are working with the government, and also the different NREGS programs. All those people working there, they will get their payment as per their whatever they're supposed to get. So therefore, I would like to inform everybody that they need not worry. The master roles who are working with government of Meghalaya in different departments, and the NREGS wage earners who are working with the government of, who are registered and working with government of Meghalaya, they need not be worried. They will be getting their salaries and their dues on time. At the same time, I also want to inform all of you that as a precaution and as a preparedness, we have also decided to come up with different isolation hospitals and wards in different parts of the state, in different districts. And the work is going on at war footing. Even in Shillong and in Tura, we are identifying different isolation chambers or isolation wards, depending on the seriousness of the ailment. As you are aware that this particular virus, when you're affected, there are 80% who are affected with a mild symptoms, and 15 to 16% with severe symptoms, and 4 to 5% with critical ailment. So based on the kind of ailment and the symptoms that come in, we have identified different levels of wards, isolation wards, which will be required. And based on that, different people, in case the need requires, will be placing them. So all these arrangements have been made. Our department and our officials, especially the health officials, the municipal officials, are really working overtime. And really, I must thank them and congratulate them at this point for the kind of selfless service that they're doing for all of you. And the only way that we can be grateful to them and we can support them is by staying home. If you stay at home, then you are helping them by ensuring that you're protecting yourself, and the overall pressure that may come on the system will be much lesser if each and every citizen of our state is responsible. Friends, there are some questions. I don't have much. I don't think I'll be able to go through all of them. Yes, Rita Marbanyang is just asking me that, this lockdown should be applicable to all political leaders also. Yes, absolutely. We have urged everybody to ensure that they follow this protocol. It's very important. But of course, there are situations where political leaders need to meet, and we need to discuss regarding these issues, and the administration and the government cannot come to complete halt. So there are situations where we need to meet and discuss, but obviously we'll keep it at the bare minimum. But I urge the public in general that please follow these protocols and ensure that nothing serious happens in this. Varun Lee Chaudhary is asking about groceries. Yes, of course, there are a lot of issues about groceries. We have urged some of our entrepreneurs also to come on board, and in different cities to try and start what we call home delivery services. Because as you know, home delivery services are not closed. We are going to work on how to create the logistics for it. We are in fact inviting and talking to citizens, to business houses, to private sector, to see how we could deal with the situation. This is a situation that has never happened before, so it's not something that anyone was prepared for. But I think these kind of situations, as you said, necessity is the mother of all inventions. So definitely, I'm sure as a society, we will come up with innovative ways to deal with the situation. But it is important that we all must work together and must always keep being positive. It's very important to be positive in this. Yes, Meryl Marak is asking about thermal scanners in entry points. Absolutely right. We have received a number of them, and we have tried to make sure that these thermal scanners are there in all the different district entry points. But yes, it's not readily available to us to give it at all levels, because it is also required at the civil hospitals. It's required at different PHCs, CHCs, and different entry points. So therefore, as and when we are receiving them, we are dispersing them. A number of the entry points already have it, but we'll try to make sure that in all locations it is going to be there. Yes, Mr. I'm sorry, this is thing moving very fast, so I'm not being able to. Kendrick Dakar is asking if there are any vaccines ready for curing this virus. The whole world and the entire medical fraternity is working on it, but as you know, vaccines take a lot of time to develop. So as of now, the reply to your answer is no. There is no vaccine yet, but the medical fraternity is working overtime to come up with this. And I'm sure that they will find a breakthrough, but it will take some time. Yes, sorry, it's moving very fast, so I'm not being able to think. Yes, Indra Neil has just sent a message that people in Shillong are not following the lockdown. And I must agree to that. And I must urge our citizens that please take this seriously. And I know that, that there are many pressing matters that are there, but I'm sure that those matters can wait. As I was mentioning, it is very, very important that you follow these protocols and lockdown, because it is for your own good and for the good of your family members. And this is one of the best ways to fight this virus right now, by ensuring that we break the transmission chain that is there. I'm sorry, there's so many questions that are coming up, so I will not be able to ask all the questions. Yeah. Yes, the testing facilities, somebody asked me about testing facilities. So we are trying to ensure that the testing facilities also improve. There are a lot of, right now, Nigrims is one, and we have just got Nazareth as another testing facility approved by ICMR. We are trying to ensure that more and more testing facilities in other parts of the district also come up, in other districts also, I'm sorry, come up. And I hope that by tomorrow, day after, more of the district headquarters will get testing centers also. As you're aware, this requires a protocol to be followed. And that protocol is what is actually hindering the entire system to be put in place. But I can assure you that we are working very hard to do that. Yes, Mr. Arwat Shalam is asking about hoarding, with people are hoarding stuff. Yes, I've made it very clear that if there are any such situations of any shops or any dealers who are hoarding or overcharging, you have to inform us. And as per the Consumers Act, we can take necessary action against them. But I can assure you that we are very firm on this, and we will not allow that. But please do inform us. You can inform the deputy commissioners in your district, and action will be taken on that regard. Yes, I'm sorry I couldn't read the name, but some people had asked about entry of individuals from other states and all these things. Friends, that is going to completely stop now, because with this lockdown and curfew, that means there'll be no movements that will be taking place. Yeah, it's moving very fast, so I'm not being able to answer all the questions. Yes, Mr. GK Sangma had asked me about passes to be issued in regards to this curfew. Of course, as per requirement, different officials and essential services, even press people, they were asking me this question earlier. So all of you, as per requirement, can go for a for a pass from the curfew pass from the deputy commissioner, but that will be given as per the requirements and needs. And the decision will be made at the deputy commissioner's level. So, friends, as I said, there are so many questions, but of course, At any point in time, if you have any clarifications, you can always write to me at conrad.sangma@gov.in, and I'll be happy to reply. I received some emails a few days back, yesterday, and I replied to those, and suggestions coming in. And once again, before closing, I would urge on each and every one of you that I understand that these 21 days that the Prime Minister has announced are going to be very tough for each and every one of us. But let me remind you that the best way to really fight this virus at this point in time is really to ensure that the transmission chain is broken. And ensuring that the lockdown is there and we all stay in our own houses is the best way to ensure that this transmission doesn't take place. And if we are able to responsibly do this, I think we'll be able to really, minimize the damage that this virus can cause. And therefore, it is very important. And I understand it's going to be tough, but it is very important and urgent that we all follow this. And I urge our citizens once again that let's work together, let's unite together. And in its tough and difficult times, let us really be responsible and ensure that we can overcome the situation, which I'm sure that we will overcome. Thank you very much.